Hello, Ducks fans, hockey fans in Orange County, California, United States, Finland, and all over the world. Happy Thursday, everybody. So, we're just 3 weeks away from the NHL trade deadline. There's a lot of rumors and speculation about who or what the Ducks will do because you and I know our team is excuse me, sellers. And with the flaws they have, it's important that they need to ensure that there's some returns, some good returns they can get, good assets they can get to improve the team going forward and to ensure that our team is basically not being in this mess that they are in right now. As many of you know, last night the Ducks lost. And as many of you know, it is basically frustrating to the point of like asking yourself, what in the world's going on? But we know the onus is on Bob Murray and Dallas Aikens for not getting the results we want, not getting the wins we want. But, anyways, back to the topic at hand. Whether they trade or not to trade, it basically comes down to what the Ducks will do. I mean, if they trade, it won't surprise us. If they don't trade, it won't surprise us. But it will be a little bit disappointed to, basically disappointed and not surprised that they will not be pulling the trigger on a trade, considering they don't have that proactive approach towards the trade deadline in the past few years, or the years we know. I mean, many examples, because they usually the only time the Ducks will trade is either in trading to strengthen depth in the forward position, the defensive core, or in the goaltending, or moves that would help the farm team, i.e. the San Diego Gulls. So, we hear it, we read it, we read about who is on the trade bait board. I mean, it's on TSN. I mean, it's on the Fourth Period website. So I think we need to ask ourselves this: who the Ducks will want to get in return? Who will they want? I mean, we know there's talk about Rickard Rakell, Adam Henrique, Hampus Lindholm, Jakob Silverberg. I mean, now I'm hearing rumors about Troy Terry about the past few days ago. So here are 4 players I think that the Ducks should ask if, say, some teams would want to have, like, to get Rickard Rakell. I mean, we know the Ducks are asking for a high price, and it's about damn time they do that, because, hey, I would do that too if I want to utilize the worth of a player and ask any of the teams that are interested in. I mean, for example, Rickard Rakell. I mean, there is Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, the New York Islanders, and Toronto are all interested in him. Calgary was supposedly interested, but again, there are reports that they have rejected an offer or something. I'm not going to get into details or make speculation. It is what it is. Okay. These players I put down is my own personal view on why the Ducks should ask for these players, be interested in these players. And here are the 4 that I believe the Ducks should get if that team is asking for acquiring Rickard Rakell. From Philadelphia, the Ducks should ask for Joel Farabee. Joel Farabee is a two-way forward. Heard a lot of good things about him. He's young. He's learning the ropes, learning to fly, and like all of the young NHL guys then, because youth is the thing. Youth, talent, skill, and adjustments, very quick adjustments, like as our GM, the Ducks GM, has said, dip your toes in the water to get that NHL experience is something that the Ducks should ask for. The Ducks should ask for in Joel Farby. Another player is right winger Kasperi Kapalainen, a Finnish player. Someone that the Ducks were rumored to be interested in, but backed out because the excuse me, the asking price was too high, and I wasn't surprised they were asking for him again from Pittsburgh. So if the Ducks were to trade Rickard Rakell to Pittsburgh, one of the players they should ask for is Kasperi Kapanen, along with, say, mid-second round draft pick. I'm not into the draft picks thing. I just like throw a draft pick or a prospect, whatever. From Toronto, the Ducks should be asking for a defenseman, a young defenseman, a right-handed defenseman to even out the defense core with the right-hand shots and the left-hand shots, and the Ducks defense core supposedly, well, not supposedly, have a tendency to lean left-handed shots. So it's good and very vital for the Ducks to have at least 3 or 4 right-handed shot guys, just to even out the balance, just to create that balance in the blue line. You know, the Ducks, if they trade to, like, say, trade Rickard Rakell to Toronto, they should be asking for Timothy Liljegren. I apologize, if I butchered his last name. So, I mean, a defenseman, young, right hand shot, of course, a Swede, because Bob have his interest in Swedes. I mean, i.e., the Lindholm being drafted, Rakell being drafted in the first round. So, a defenseman to stock up and strengthen the depth on the Ducks defense core would be something the Ducks should be looking at, asking for if Toronto is interested in Rickard Rakell. Finally, I have Anthony Bolivari, left winger from the New York Islanders. Again, young, again, someone that's talented. I did a little research. It's very adapt to his surroundings. So all these 4 names I put there. All these 4 names, I have a list here, and the 4 names I mentioned are the Ducks should be interested in asking for. I mean, we've already have everyone has been saying that, you know, the Ducks trade bait, you know, Rakell and as I said before, the Rico and, well, that's the nickname for Henrique, Silverberg and Lindholm, and also we always hear about that. We always hear about who are the Ducks trade bait. We never hear about who do the Ducks want in return. Who the Ducks want in return? The only player that the Ducks supposedly want in return was Jake Virtanen. And I don't see how Jake Virtanen can fit into the Ducks system of hockey. And it just doesn't seem like a good fit. You know, trading Danton Heinen to Vancouver for Jake Virtanen. I mean, you have to wait 7 days or 2 weeks to quarantine because, 1, it's in the North Division. It's up in Canada. And 2, that player, say if Jake Virtanen is traded to the Ducks, he won't be able to help them for 14 days. So the trade, it just doesn't make any sense. And speaking of Danton Heinen, as many of you guys know, the Ducks had a player tested positive for COVID-19, and it led to our team canceling practice. It led to concerns, to which later This week, the NHL, our Ducks, came out and named the players who are on the COVID-19 protocol list. Now, I'm not going to get into the protocol list. I'm not going to get into the reasons or whatever. The names: forward Dan Hayden, defenseman Jacob Larson, Ben Hutton, and goalie Anthony Stellaris. I bring up these names because, look, they are hockey players. They play the game we love. They play on the hockey team that we love with all our hearts, that we grew up with. But in today, in society, they're human beings like you and me. And I can't imagine what these four are going through, especially when the player's being tested positive. I mean, you hear all these stories about what this virus, this curse has done, and I'm not going to get into the COVID-19 and all this stuff. I mean, we hear it so much. So, but honestly, as I said, and I said on the message board, we can hope for the best and pray for the recovery. I mean, they will recover. It's just that the lingering effects on, who knows, on COVID, on the players can differ from person to person. So it is what it is, and it makes you think. It makes you think about the players. It makes you think about life itself, and that's it. And that's the thing. That's the thing about, when Ducks had this list and named these four players, it makes your heart goes out to these guys because they keep themselves in shape and they play in isolated arenas, but also they have to make sure that they're healthy and they're safe. So, other than that, we can't lose focus on the fact that they are human and they play the sport we love. That's the one thing about it, and that's the honest thing about it. Speaking of COVID-19, I got to give props to Jojo Masterson, or Master Joe, or sorry, DJ Jojo from the Anaheim Ducks and Ducks mascot Wild Wing for showing up at the Anaheim Convention Center and giving moral support to those getting vaccinated by COVID-19. I thought that was pretty cool. Great of them to do that, and it shows you yet again of what this team does and what is the duties of not just hockey teams or not just the Anaheim Ducks, but all sports teams around the world. When you're in these challenging times, you got to give moral support, and that's what the Ducks did. And DJ Jojo, I salute you, my friend. I mean, you and Wild Wing showed your support for the people, and I love that. And it makes me inspired. Okay, it really makes me inspired. But I had a smile on my face seeing that. Anyways, back to hockey. Whatever the Ducks do, or how, or what they do from here until April 12th, we know that this team is flawed, and we know getting to the playoffs is really out of the question, considering the fact that they are 9, 19, and 6, and 24 points. I mean, you don't have to look at the stats each day to know how flawed they are. I mean, goals is basically, their goals for is nearly dead last. So I don't need to say much about what about the stats. And whatever Bob does, he's got to go. He's got to go, and Dallas has got to go. As I said before, I gave Dallas the benefit of the doubt because of the little brouhaha up in Edmonton all those years ago. But when you have a guy who is a GM of the Ducks who is willfully stubborn and doesn't change or adjust any of the strategies and in today's NHL and does the things he does, it's just you know that he should have been gone a long time ago, and he should have been gone a long time ago, and that is the nature of sports, everywhere. I mean, if a GM such as Bob Murray, who's been there since 2008, and he's making the same things over again, depth moves, you know, giving responsibilities to the Ducks youth and to the rookies and the prospects. I mean, keep in mind, you need to trade players that can help enhance the development of the talent of the prospects within your system. I mean, it's good that you can do that, but allowing this team to just flounder and not do a thing while the enemies and the rivals of our Ducks are improving and spending to oblivion and all that, it leads to a lot of questions and a lot of no confidence, in which I don't have any confidence in. So I guess you can say that by the end of this season, this short season, the Ducks need to move on from Bob Murray, move on from Dallas Eakins. I mean, there was supposed to be a rumor that they were planning on doing that, but then again, what is the point when you're in the middle of a season, which is a trial by and error season, which is the Ducks are in a rebuild and a rejuvenation phase with the youth. They're trying to get them adjusted into the system, into the roster, and the veterans seem to have this habit of gliding from one end of the ice to another. So I got a lot of things to say about it because, I mean, there comes a point in time when all Ducks fans, no matter where you are, have to look at what the future is going to be like, not just without Bob Murray or Dallas Eakins, but with Ryan Getzlaf. Getzlaf is 35, going on 36. He's been with the team. He's the longest serving Duck. Oh man, oh my gosh, since 2005. So he's been around a long time. He's been around for nearly, I think, nearly 2 decades. I mean, nearly a decade and a half. And there's rumors about him being traded to a contender if he wants to, but I don't see that happening. I don't see him wanting to move away from his wife and children. I mean, he has a wife. He married a local Orange County SoCal girl. Has uh, four kids. I think four. I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? So I don't see him basically wanting to get the trade, wanting to move away from him because he's raising a family, man. Okay, 35 is still young. Okay, so he's raising a family. So I don't see him. I see him being an untouchable. He's the captain of the Ducks. He's the last remaining player of the 2007 Stanley Cup Championship team. And what will happen is that the next generation of Ducks will be Max Comtois, Troy Terry, and Jamie Drysdale, and Trevor Zegras, the Z-Man. I call him the Z-Man. I did. I call him the Z-Man. I call him Z-Man in the Ducks message board. So you can always point me as the founder, but hey, that's another story for another time. So the Ducks lost. All I can say is that if we're going to move forward, we need to give some of these young guys a chance. We gave Zegras a chance. We gave Drysdale a chance to prove themselves, know what it means and what it's like to win or lose as an Anaheim Duck. So As many of you guys know, that Lucas Dolstore has been called up on emergency basis due to Stellaris being on the COVID-19 list. So what does it mean going forward this week? And well, it means simply, I would want our Ducks to give Dolstore a chance to succeed. Well, not to succeed, but a chance to experience the NHL, to learn from it. You know, they did it with John Gibson during his rookie year. Why not give it to Dolstore? It's simple as that. I mean, the saying goes, the future is now, and the future is now. And this shortened 56 game season, which some Ducks fans say it's lost, others call it a chaotic mess. I look at that as a trial and error, rebuild and rejuvenation phase, which is something that we're going to have to tolerate for the next few weeks. But all in all, what it all boils down to is this. The Ducks may need, and they need to trade, okay? The point of not doing anything could hinder this team and could demoralize this team even further. Trades are naturally important, and they're vital. Even big-time trades that the Ducks can do to improve, but also to light that spark. Okay, it has happened many times. The Tamas trade, the Chris Pronger trade, the Kessler trade. I mean, it has given players in the minor leagues a second chance. I mean, the Jaguar trade and the Boschman trade. This notion of not doing anything because of high prices is just wearing on everyone else, including myself. So I believe the Ducks need to get in the game, ask for a high price or deal, and if whatever the great price is, the Ducks got to make it. And if they can get these players I've mentioned down, then the path forward through the rebuild and the rejuvenation process, we could see the Ducks resurge to even more stronger than ever before. And that's really important. So, till then, I'll see you guys soon.